Here's why 8 hours of sleep still isn't fixing your energy. My name is Riley, and I help people become superhuman through an inside-out approach and getting to the root cause instead of micromanaging symptoms simply on the surface. Now, here's the thing with sleep, and a lot of people get it wrong. People think it is about the duration of your sleep, how long you're in bed for. And a lot of people ask, how long, Riley, should I sleep for? Is it 6 hours? Is it 7 hours? Is it 8 hours? Is it 9 hours? And here's the answer. Really, it matters on two things. It's the quality of your sleep, and it's also your genetics. Let me talk about genetics first. And what I mean by genetics is everybody has an individual circadian code. You can think of this, it's called your chronobiology. And that means your genetic hardwiring is more of a nighttime person or more of a morning time person. And anyone who tells you to follow a regular cookie cutter sleep approach isn't really telling you what is accurate, because when I do genetic lab testing on people, we see genetically, are they more of a morning time person or more of a nighttime person? And I can't begin to tell you the amount of times that someone swears they're a nighttime person because they've done it their whole life. And then it turns out genetically, they're a morning time person. And so what we do is we shift their schedule to more morning time, takes about a 1 to 2 week adjustment, and then boom, energy shoots through the roof, focus improves, sleep improves, their mood improves. Why? Because we are going with the flow of their genetics, and we're not, think of it going with the stream. We don't want to be going against the stream because we're using more willpower than we have to. Sure, you can adjust to anything because humans have adjusted and adapted for survival for tens of thousands of years. However, there is just an easier way. And so if you can do genetic testing and find out exactly what type of chronobiology you are, there are different kinds. You can go to thepowerofblankquiz.com. That is Dr. Michael Bruce. You can also take a look on this YouTube channel for an interview I had him on my Superhuman podcast, and we talk all about that too. And that is one free way that you can do it. And that's amazing, and it can show you a really good starting place, give you the foundation to all of that stuff. But the other way, and the way that I prefer, is an actual genetic test, because when you test and you don't guess, everything just comes a lot easier. And it's just a one-time thing. And whether you do the test at 2 years old or whether you do the test at 95 years old, your genetics are essentially going to be the same. So it is one of the best investments that you can make. And so once you do the genetic test and you find out what is your chronobiology, and are you more of a nighttime person or morning time person, then we can start adjusting your schedule based on that. Now, that is very simplistic and it gets way more complicated than this, but it is a very good place to start. Once we get that match, we turn the good genes on, turn the bad genes off. Again, very simplistic, but just think about it this way. We're going with the flow of our biology, not against our biology. And what happens as a result when we're not going against the flow, against the stream? Things just feel easier. We're going with it. We don't have to try as hard. What does that mean for you? You fall asleep easier. You don't wake up as much in the middle of the night. And when you wake up, you're not going to have as much reliance on caffeine because sleep was just so on point. It would be great to have. It's nice as the ritual for the taste of the coffee, for the smell of the coffee, but you don't rely on it as a crutch. So that's that piece. The other thing is the quality of your sleep. Now, our sleep cycles go in 90 minutes. 90 minutes, 3 hours, 4.5 hours, 6 hours, 7.5 hours, 9 hours. And throughout those sleep cycles, we have light sleep, we have non-REM sleep, we have deep sleep, the REM sleep, there's many cycles here. And the longer we are in bed on average, it is true that we're going to have more of those sleep cycles. So generally, if you're having sleep issues, if you spend more time in bed, you're probably going to increase your deep sleep and you're probably going to increase your REM sleep too. Now, if you wear a tracker like an Oura Ring that I have, there's Whoop Band, there's Apple Watch. Oura Ring is personally my favorite when it comes to sleep and quite frankly for everything else, but they're all essentially good at this point. What you want to look for on the REM sleep side of things, we're talking about sleep quality now, is on average about 2 hours to about 2.5 hours of REM sleep. For the deep sleep side, and again, this might change a little bit just based on the tracker that you have, is you want to look for about 2.5 to 3 hours of the deep sleep. Now, take a look over the last 30 days, the last 90 days, last year. What is your average? And if you're looking to personally track what that is, you can download the free Superhuman Playbook down below. It's completely free, and it's going to tell you how you can track this in the best way. And the best strategy that I have used in the last 10 years that allowed me to do so working with clients from all different sleep issues, waking up at certain times of the night, of trouble going to sleep, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. However, this is the important part that you need to know. You get enough deep sleep, you get enough REM sleep, and let that be the guiding indicator. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated when we look at resting heart rate, if we look at heart rate variability, because these all play a very key role. But here are some quick things that you can do to start improving your sleep right now. Number one, when you first wake up, expose your eyes to sunlight within the first 60 minutes of waking up. Now, if it is sunny outside, you only need 10 minutes of sun. Obviously, don't look directly at the sun, but just get enough light into your eyes in order to trigger something known as our internal clock called our SEN. That's going to send a signal to our hormones and our organs that it's time to turn on. It's the on switch. So it knows that when 14, 16 hours goes by throughout the day, it's time to shut off, because our organs and hormones and all the other systems in our body really need that on button switch. And they are, our bodies haven't changed that much from tens of thousands of years ago. And so we need to give it that signal first. Once we give it that signal, then we're going to notice it's going to start improving our sleep. The other thing you want to do is on a cloudy day is 30 minutes of the cloud from the sun coming through there. However, if you were in a place, for example, like Canada, where I am a lot of the time, when you first wake up, especially in the wintertime in the Northern Hemisphere, you're going to notice that it is completely pitch black outside. So in that case, you can get something known as a lumen light, when you typically want to look for 10,000 to 12,000 lux, and you can get it on Amazon, very cheap if you're looking for one. Just comment down below and I'll let you know my favorite one, or you can find it in a Superhuman playbook down below. And what you're going to find is you put that on for 30 minutes on a timer, while you're working at about a 45-degree angle from your desk, or whether you meditate, journaling, like whatever your part of your morning routine is. And that's going to mimic the sun too. It's not as good as natural sunlight, but it is a very good second best. And within a couple weeks, you're going to probably notice your sleep starts improving too. Let's go to the evening time now. So when evening time comes around, 2 hours before sleep, you want to put on blue light blocking glasses. Now, my favorite brand, check out the Superhuman playbook down below too. I tell you all of those inside of there as well. But you also want to download an app on your computer. It's called iristech.co, and it acts as f.flux, very similar, but it's going to turn the screen orange. It's going to improve screen flickering light and so many other things that'll improve sleep as well. So just definitely get that one before you go to sleep. The other one is don't eat 4 to 5 hours before sleep. Now, the caveat to this is if your blood sugar is low, you might need a little bit of almond butter, a little bit of honey to increase your blood sugar. Maybe it's a quick collagen protein shake to just help stabilize that blood sugar. Because if you're waking up in the middle of the night, it could be that your blood sugar drops and we have cortisol and adrenaline that increase to bring that blood sugar up. And as a result, you wake up in the middle of the night. So that's another thing too. And then finally, the last tip that I want to give you with all of this is there's a couple supplements that you can try that have been my favorite. Melatonin is obviously the obvious one, but I don't like taking that stuff only in one-off use cases. Yes, there are benefits to melatonin, but if you're having sleep issues, it's not probably a melatonin only problem. There's probably some other stuff that's going on, but you can use these supplements as relief care in the meantime while you're getting to the true underlying cause, which my favorite is the lab testing. And if you're interested in that, you can book a call with me or my team down below for that as well. And with the supplements, one of my favorite ones to use is inositol. And you want to make sure you're not taking St. John's wort, any SSRIs, antidepressants. Check with your doctor. It's all very important. That has been shown to improve sleep. There's also a supplement called apigenin. And then there's also a supplement called magnesium L-threonate that is going to help really relax your body. And you can also look at one known as pharma GABA. That is a brain neurotransmitter that acts like the brakes on your brain. That these have been my favorites throughout the years too. Clients' favorites, they notice things right away. A lot of the time, if you get a chewable one or a spray, it enters your bloodstream right away without bypassing through your gut. And as a result, it just works faster, especially if you have a lot of gut issues going on and the nutrients isn't getting fully absorbed into your bloodstream through your gut. And that's another conversation for another video. And those are some things you can try. But the message I want to leave you here with, in summary, is focus on the quality. Don't always focus on the quantity. Yes, it is important, but focus on the quality, quality, quality. Personalize it to you. Don't believe in cookie cutter solutions. And you're going to start sleeping better throughout the night at Superhuman, which we call sleep nirvana, through the Superhuman operating system. Again, if you would like to learn all of this, check out the free Superhuman playbook down below. And if you would like to learn more on how we can install the Superhuman OS in your life, you can book a call with me or my team down below too. Thank you so much. I hope you sleep amazing this week. We'll talk to you real soon.